So, we have to talk about misplaced and performative activism because it's kind of a fucking problem and it's kind of fucking annoying. There are some real problems in the world, and most of us don't have time for the performative bullshit. Now, there's an artist who I actually rather enjoy. He's been around for a while. Name is Nastia. She's a Ukrainian DJ. Not at all unattractive. Came up in the techno scene in a time when comments like, oh gee, another hot girl playing techno, we know why she's getting booked, largely went unchecked. Unfortunate, but that was the time. She has been pretty outspoken about that kind of objectification and that kind of exploitation and the sexism in a scene that's supposed to be all about peace and love and unity and respect. She's been rather outspoken in calling some of that out, and I got no problems with that. That's great. Now, there's another artist named Alarico. Now, Alarico just launched his own record label, a label called Flirt Records, which I think is a fucking great name, but whatever. On this album, on this release, his first release on this label that he just launched, he released a handful of tracks, and on the cover art happened to be a not unattractive young woman. Nastia decided she had a problem with that and kind of started chirping and kind of started a whole fucking controversy and opened a whole can of worms about how dare you exploit women and oh, this is objectification and this is that and blah, 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 blah. There's a problem with that. She never bothered to ask who the woman was. The photo features someone who has been deeply important to this project. She contributed vocals to several of the tracks and has been a huge part of my creative life. The artwork was intended as a personal homage to her and the energy she brought to this music, never to sexualize or objectify anyone. Also happens to be his fucking girlfriend, who apparently helped him launch the fucking label. Nobody bothered to ask that. Nobody bothered to ask that question. Hey, who is this person? Now, the even bigger problem is even after dude took down the artwork and said, hey, you know, if it's going to be that big of a deal, I'll just fucking take it down. Nastia is still going off about it because she can't admit that she was the one that made the mistake. That's performative bullshit. I'm sorry, that's performative bullshit. Now it's turning into a teaching lesson, a teaching opportunity about how to do things professionally and the proper way to credit and contract. Blah, 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 blah. Bitch, you saw another pretty face and assumed she was only there because she was a pretty face. You are the one with the fucking problem. Look in the goddamn mirror. Nobody else thought that. You saw a woman on the cover art that was not unattractive and you assumed she was only there because tits. Now, I'm old enough to remember when people said that about Nastia. I'm old enough to remember that. I'm old enough to remember sticking up for her in the comment section on that very same fucking app on Instagram, saying, hey, you don't fucking talk to people like that. Who cares if she wants to be sexy? That's her fucking business. She's an artist. We judge artists based on their fucking art. We don't make assumptions about people like that. We don't fucking do that. We respect people. Now, who's the one that came in and saw a pretty face and said, oh, she's only there because she's a fucking pretty face, and didn't bother to ask what her contribution was, didn't bother to ask who it was, didn't bother to ask what she did, just automatically assumed, oh, she's a pretty face, she must only be good for tits. Who made that assumption? This is what we call fucking performative bullshit. Don't do it. There's enough real fucking problems in the world. We don't need this made up performative shit on top of it.